What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the fourth Phoenix Friday. As you can tell, I don't have my normal partner in crime, Squidgrow Joe. He unfortunately had some family stuff come up, so couldn't make it today. Hopefully, everything goes smoothly. I'm usually not the one in the control panel controlling everything. That's usually Joe. But in Joe's place, we are going to have our very own contract dev, Rebel Matt, and we also have our special co host, Defi Mark, if you guys want to go ahead and say hello.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
All right, so Mark is here to talk about a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be doing. But before we jump into that with him, I do kind of want to go down the list, give some updates and everything that's been going on with the community. So first up, I know everyone knows we did get our 2-bit listing. Volume over there is actually looking pretty good. We were well into the six figures this morning when I looked, but that gives us 4 places. That gives us Phoenix Swap, Pancake Swap, Bitmart, in 2-bit in just what, a month being live. So we're going to continue to find different centralized exchanges and things like that to keep spreading Operation Phoenix as far as it can go. Next, we have the Burn Lotto. Just talked to Mark behind the stage. That pool that we just did is up. The BNB winner and the Operation Phoenix winner has been announced. I think it did the final buy a couple minutes ago. If you look on the chat, that 983 buy was the bot buying, and it burned, I want to say, in the thousands of tokens. But speaking of the burn lotto, a lot of people were saying they wanted to see a little bit smaller of a lotto. This first one was kind of just a test to kind of see how it's going to go. So we're going to drop down to $5 per ticket for 200 tickets, which is $1,000 jackpot on both the BNB in the Operation Phoenix. So we should see a lot more winners a lot more often. Now, keep in mind, every time you buy BNB, you get 15 tokens. And every time you buy Operation Phoenix, you get the 10 tokens. And those tokens will continually add up. And we'll be able to see who that biggest buyer is at the end of every month. And then they get a 10% share of the BNB in Operation Phoenix pool. So that's about the burn lotto. Moving on to the Launchpad partner. So everyone knows we launched our Launchpad a couple of weeks ago. It was very important that we had the right person to be a part of that. So we're going to be launching Power to the People. The dev team behind it is a team that I've known for a while. It's going to be a small raise, about 25 BNB, but I am going to be helping them with our marketing company in the background, doing a lot of the same things that we did launching Operation Phoenix. Now, is there any guarantee that it's going to do 110x like we did? Of course not. There's never a guarantee, but we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that they have a very successful launch. If you guys get in, which we will have whitelist spots available for Operation Phoenix community amongst some other communities. So if you guys want to hop in, hopefully that'll be a good play for you guys, but just stay tuned for that. We're going to start talking about that probably next week more and more. Also, we just cashed out our first bit of revenue. So the first month, now keep in mind, it was very minimal. We had Operation Phoenix on our decks and we only had one list partner. So we made about $1,500 in revenue with just us and one swap partner. Now, as we continue to grow and as we move on, we're going to focus on getting more and more partners. This first month, we were kind of just getting everything under control. So I didn't have tons of time to focus on partnership and those kind of partners. But as far as our decks goes, Mark will start talking a little bit about the decks and the exciting places that we're going to be taking it. So not bad for that first month. That $1,500 will be going back towards the chart. And as we always stated, those tokens would be for burning and also for setting aside for staking and things like that. So we're not having to pull out of the extra supply for the staking. Let's see what else we have. So if you guys noticed, there was a holder. Again, I'm never going to dox wallets, but there was a holder that staked 1.4 million of their tokens. They're one of our biggest holders, maybe not the biggest, but they're definitely up there. I do know who they are, but yeah, so I know everyone noticed it and just kind of wanted to point that out. What else we have? Next, we're going to move on to Mark. So as we stated, last week, we tweeted about it. We did form a partnership with Defi Mark. So he's not on the core team, but he's also not just a contract dev. He did actually partner with us, and we're going to team up to work together to build some really cool innovative stuff that's going to be headed your way with the Operation Phoenix logo on it. But we kind of are going to start with the decks, and Mark's going to go a little bit into the detail about more things you're going to see with the deck. So we started with the sellless decks, and that was kind of the main thing that we hung our hat on, but we're going to be doing so much more cool stuff with that. Mark, if you want to go ahead, hop in and talk a little bit about the decks upgrades and everything that we're going to be seeing with that decks.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sean. And I'm happy to be partnered up with the Operation Phoenix team. So as Sean was saying, basically what it means is I'm not on the core team, but I'll be able to lend support whenever they need it and work more closely with them and collaborate on coming out with some really cool products. So the deck specifically has been something close to my chest for a while. It's been an idea that I've always wanted to roll out, but I've been waiting for the right team to manage it and run with it. And I definitely believe Operation Phoenix is one of those teams. So this type of decks that's coming out soon for you guys on the Operation Phoenix, on the website for it, is custom. It's never really been created before with this system. I'm not going to spend too long nerding out about it. Those of you that know me know that I can go for hours. So I'm going to try to keep this short for the guys here. But in general, here's the gist of the new decks. It is tailored to DeFi projects. It is made to make the lives of DeFi projects easier. Anyone that lists on this decks is going to notice an immediate increase in usability and just benefit as opposed to doing something like PancakeSwap. The core difference between this new decks that we're coming out with and the traditional decks is because when you have a dex like PancakeSwap, it's built to incentivize large amounts of liquidity, like hundreds of millions of dollars of BNB, hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin and blue chips to be traded. So when you're creating a dex, you got to ask yourself, do you want to go this massive liquidity route and try to combat huge established dexes like PancakeSwap? Or do you think that you have a spot in the DeFi field and you can build a dex that incentivizes projects and helps all of the non-blue chip coins that are out there? And that's what we decided to do. We are all very integrated into DeFi. We have tons of friends and partners throughout the space. So we decided we are going to build a dex that benefits projects more so than the other type of system. So with PancakeSwap, its whole incentive is collect swap fees in the token and BNB and liquidity tokens, sell down that liquidity. So they're always selling down your chart to buy and burn their governance token Cake. And Cake is what they give as rewards for farming and raising more liquidity. And you get it. It's that circular kind of closed loop system. With our DEX, we don't have a DEX token like Cake. We don't need to give out tokens for adding liquidity because we're making our DEX tailored to projects. So instead of collecting, 0.25% of every swap and selling it down and hurting these projects, we're actually doing the opposite. We've developed a system that every time someone swaps on the DEX, we actually get to send money to the project. So instead of actually getting your token sold down with volume in this system, it's actually going to contribute towards buying and burning, towards marketing, towards whatever you'd want it to be. So more swaps on this don't mean that you're going to get more and more fees taken out of your LP and sold down. It's actually the opposite. And how that works is our DEX has a 0% swap fee. There is no percentage swap fee on this DEX. Instead, the gas is slightly upcharged every transaction. So if normally you'd pay $1 in gas, you might pay $2 in gas or $1.50 instead of a percentage swap fee. That flat gas upcharge is then siphoned out as BNB and used for a whole bunch of different things. A piece of it, as we said before, is used to support the project that made the swap in the liquidity pool. Another piece is actually going to go out, buy and burn Operation Phoenix every swap. Another piece is actually going to go buy Operation Phoenix and give it to the person that made the swap. That's right. So as we get more partners on, as you trade on this DEX, every swap you make, you're going to have Operation Phoenix coming into your wallet, no matter who you're swapping for or what you're swapping into. So if you like to day trade, you can trade around on this DEX with 0% swap fees and earn Operation Phoenix as a reward for doing so. There's a few other ideas and destinations we want to use with this DEX. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to talk about now, but there's several things that we can do with these, with this income stream to benefit Operation Phoenix, including things like buy. So as I said before, there's a lot of things going using this fee to buy back Operation Phoenix. We can, as I said before, burn it. We're going to be giving it back to the users as trade mining, like I said, and we can even top off staking rewards to keep those high APYs that you guys all love, keep them sustainable over time. What do you think, Sean? I'm not allowed to talk about the burn staking, am I? Is that too secret?
Let Matt answer that question. Like I said, you guys have mostly been dealing on that part, but I'm fine with whatever.
That's the most exciting piece, but I don't know if we want to give it away too soon. So
yeah, we can.
Yeah, we
can hold off on that
just a bit. That's a pretty big deal. I think that's really going to incentivize the whales. So just my opinion, I think we hold off just a bit.
Okay, I'll tease it then only. So the last part of this DEX that's coming out, it is huge. It's going to do a lot of good things for the token and helping support it and helping reduce the whale dominance a bit. And the DEX is integral to it working. So they're going to be playing hand in hand together. So there's some info on the DEX. You guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I built it a little while ago, and it's been a project, a dream project of mine for a while. So I'm really happy to be rolling it out with the Operation Phoenix team. Yeah, but it's not the end. So once the DEX is out, we're going to be announcing some really cool things that it enables us to offer that should change the game for Operation Phoenix for a while. I think I kept it short and sweet enough, Sean, if you want to take back over.
Yeah, for sure. So as you can tell, we're super excited for all this. You know, we do want to make a DEX that will allow us to compete with the big boys because it will benefit Operation Phoenix from, as he said, burning, buying, all that good stuff. Now, everyone knows why we chose to be on Binance Smart Chain. A lot of people, of course, was saying you need to be on ETH. There's so much more volume right now, which that is true. There is more volume on ETH, but BNB was where SafeMoon originally launched. We do think that when everyone starts flooding back into Joe's channels and all the old SafeMoon influencers channels, which basically at this point, all of them are covering us, that they're going to be seeing Operation Phoenix first and foremost. But with that being said, we know how important it is to be able to buy Operation Phoenix with not only BNB, but Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, all kinds of different things. So Mark, if you want to come back up and kind of talk about what we've been working on. So we did have a swapper set up that was basically ready to go today, but we're kind of bringing it to the next level. So we're going to kind of go a few more days and get that wrapped up. But Mark, if you want to take over and tell them about the cross-chain capabilities that Operation Phoenix is going to soon have.
Absolutely. So Sean was right. We did have a swapper set up that would let people buy Operation Phoenix on any chain. It was set up and ready to go today, but we thought with the team, and we really want to add some new spice and utility onto this. That'll make it a lot easier for people truly on any chain to hold, trade, and operate with Operation Phoenix. So we're going to be expanding out the swapper a little bit over the next few days and trying to add some new functionality that should make it a lot easier for people. So with the current version that we were going to roll out, what would happen is if you're on Avalanche or Polygon or ETH or Arbitrum, you would be able to swap into Operation Phoenix without needing to use a bridge. So you would be able to just send ETH through the swap. It would bridge that ETH to Binance, buy Operation Phoenix, send it to your wallet, and give you a little bit of BNB for gas in case you wanted to go back onto the chain to sell it, stake it, utilize it. It's basically a way to bridge over to Binance without the hassle with just a one click. Now that's nice and all, but what we're adding to it is a different layer. Instead of just bridging to Binance and buying the token on Binance, what we're actually setting up is a system to where Operation Phoenix will exist on all different chains with one central liquidity pool, being the one here on BNB that you guys see today. So what we're going to do is we're going to let people actually buy Operation Phoenix on ETH, on Arbitrum, on Polygon through the BNB liquidity pool. Here's a little snippet of how that might work. So let's say I'm on Polygon and I want Operation Phoenix. So I send Matic with my swap through the dApp. That Matic gets bridged to BNB. It gets swapped into Operation Phoenix. And then that Operation Phoenix is immediately bridged back over to Polygon and deposited in my wallet on Polygon. the wrapped bridge token version of Operation Phoenix, which in all intents and purposes is Operation Phoenix. It locks up Operation Phoenix on BSC and mints me the receipt on Polygon. Now, when I'm ready to sell as a Polygon holder, I can interact with the DApp again, and it will bridge that Operation Phoenix from Polygon back to BSC, sell it, take the BNB, bridge it back to Matic, and send Matic into my account. So fully from Polygon, Arbitrum, Ethereum, and even 9 to 10 other chains, we will be able to let people buy and sell Operation Phoenix without ever needing to add BNB to their wallet or transact on the Binance chain. They can do it from their native chain that they know and love. And we think this is going to drastically increase the potential user base and the network that we can reach, because we're going to be available on all major EVM networks now with a Operation Phoenix token, easy to trade. And you don't have to worry about tokenomics, global tokenomics, because all of the buys and sells happen through the BSC version. I think it's the coolest form of a bridge that's ever been created. I might be a little biased because I created it, but I've never seen anything like this. The world hasn't seen anything like this. Operation Phoenix is debuting this technology, and we're really excited to show it to you guys.
Yep, super exciting. Last thing, Mark, that we might want to touch on, or if you have anything to add to what I'm about to say, is we did have a community vote about an arbitrage bot a week or two ago. As everyone knows, I'm sure there are arbitrage bots live between Phoenix Swap and Pancake Swap that, are taking advantage of the price difference. So we kind of voted to go ahead and bring our own arbitrage bot in, whitelisted with 0 taxes, so we can keep the pools equal, and all the differences and all the money that goes into that profit-wise will go ahead and buy back and burn Operation Phoenix on both Phoenix Swap and on Pancake Swap. I don't know if there's anything that you want to add, Mark, about the arbitrage bot.
The arbitrage bot, it is getting very close. So instead of building a traditional arbitrage bot where it's, on a server and writing transactions to the chain, we're actually debuting. Sorry. Sorry about that. We're actually debuting the world's first fully on-chain arbitrage bot. So what that means is this bot, it doesn't live on a Python script. It doesn't live on a server. It is fully on-chain and automatically executing via Chainlink keepers to do the swap. So that means it will never be shut down. It will never be turned off. It will infinitely be looking for opportunities to arbitrage, especially specifically with Operation Phoenix. It makes the swaps without any gas needed. It actually borrows the BNB, does the swaps, and then the profit of the BNB gets used to buy and burn Operation Phoenix. Doing it fully on chain, it's led to a little bit of a little difficulty. It's taken a little bit longer than I'd initially thought. Using my arbitrage equation, it's very complex. Solidity is not really good at taking second derivatives either. It's it's been a process, but we're getting there. It's almost ready. Worst case scenario, if it's leading to more trouble than it's worth, we could always just stand up a traditional arbitrage bot that's not fully on chain while we flesh out the rest of this. But yes, the arbitrage bot is about ready to go. I've launched these ones before. They work, and depending on the volume, depending on how many times you guys are buying and selling, you could see upwards of thousands of dollars a day in profit going towards buying and burning Operation Phoenix, depending on volume. We're also going to be working with some future partners of the DEX and the Launchpad to offer them this arbitrage bot as well for a percentage of profits, since we'll have already created it. So all of these other projects that are going to be listing are going to be contributing towards the buy and burn of Operation Phoenix. I think that's the update on that. Thank you, Sean.
Yep, very cool. Yep, thanks for all those updates. If you don't mind, Mark, sticking around, we are going to be going into questions very shortly in case anyone does have any technical questions. You can go ahead and tackle that.
Absolutely.
One last thing I guess I wanted to hit on before we open it up for questions, which if you haven't done so, go ahead and start asking your questions, and we'll go ahead and bring each one up, get those questions answered. Is that I know there's always a lot of talk about the marketing wallet. We have been letting it build. Honestly, the most we've done with the marketing funds is the centralized exchange listings. Now, there's a reason why we haven't been spending funds. This is something that I can't discuss, at least right now, but there's something that we're working on that, again, we can't talk about. But as of today, we are moving past that. So you are going to start seeing a lot more marketing campaigns coming up. We do have our staking that's going to be unlocking for that first 30 days. We're hoping a lot of people choose to go over to our 6-month compound staking. But yeah, so you're about to see us getting really, really heavy with the marketing and different campaigns that we have going on. Matt, is there anything you want to add to anything before we start taking questions or anything like that?
No, I think it's been pretty well covered. One thing that we might want to get Mark to touch on just for a minute is the 6-month staking pool if he's able to, because I know it's a little different than our traditional 2 pools that we started with. You know how it works. You know, trying to if people claim what happens. You know, stuff like that. So, well, I guess he dropped off. He might have got busy.
Yeah, he'll probably be back.
We're going to get a write up on that fully either way, because I know it is a little different, and there might have been some miscommunicated stuff, and so I just want to make sure that it gets touched on.
Yeah, Mark, I saw you kind of dropped off there, but Matt was saying, is there any kind of small details you want to give about the 6-month compound staking pool to just kind of further, I guess, explain exactly how it works, so just everyone knows exactly what they're getting themselves into?
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me? I lost an internet connection, so I just joined back on my phone.
I can hear you.
All right, that's great. Sorry about that, guys. So yes, the 6-month pool. It's different than the original staking. There's a few different cosmetic changes, like being able to withdraw specific amounts instead of all or nothing. The main difference is the fact that this one is auto compounding. So what that means is no longer do you have to claim your rewards and then manually put them back in if you want to. All the rewards you get are added to your balance every 10 minutes. And if you can even add the staking contract to your wallet to see your reflections come in real time. So whenever you refresh your wallet, if the rewards have been distributed, you should see that increase in balance. Now, we had a few problems with the bot that's automatically doing the auto compounding. So there's a few hiccups, but once we get some automation going there, it should make it a lot easier, and you should be able to see those increases in balances a lot more often. The main difference between this is it turns an APR into an APY. So what our bot does is constantly it will compound whatever's in that pool by about 0.12% per day. What this means is you're not getting, so if you stake in 100,000 tokens, for instance, you're not getting a 50% return on it like you traditionally would. You're actually getting more because every time you get rewards, that's compounded. So the next day when you go to get rewards, the next 10 minutes, you're going to get more rewards than you did the previous 10 minutes because now your balance is greater because you got rewards and it's auto compounded. So the rewards are going to continuously compound and add up, and it should give a much better return than a traditional 50-day pool without you needing to spend any gas, without you needing to reset the lock timer, none of that. All you do is put it in and let it sit, and your balance is going to be compounding and growing. Eventually, it'd go exponential. But 6 months, not really enough time to go exponential, but it will still do a very good. It'll still be a lot better and a lot better rewards than the old 50% pools. Now, the reason why we really like this system is because it mimics reflections in a very real way. You can simply add the token to your wallet, and you can see your amount rise whenever you check back in every 10 minutes or so. Once the distribution bot is a little more prone to less issues. So that's gonna be really exciting. It's a little taste of the past a bit to see some reflections in your wallet. So that's why we want to roll it out for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. You know, one of the cool things when SafeMoon was at its height was just seeing your wallet constantly go up. So I was kind of glad that we were able to find a way to really incorporate that. Now, if that's it, guys,
Yeah,
we'll
and
move
I
on.
want
No,
to.
go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm kind of breaking up on my end, so I don't. I want to make sure everybody hears me. I just
You're
wanted to
coming through clear.
clarify. So, okay. So one thing that Mark touched on as it auto compounds, meaning if you go to withdraw, you're under the penalty aspect the whole time during the 6 months. But the thing about that is, if you say something happens, you do need to access some of yours. You can pull out a certain amount. You still get hit with the withdrawal early fee, but you can access those. So there's no traditional claiming or nothing like that involved. So don't expect to go to it and have to push a button.
Very nice. But yeah, if that's it, guys, we'll go ahead and hop in and take some questions. So first up, in order to participate in launches, do we need some kind of holding staking? And is there a plan to have tier systems for Launchpad for some nice use case for Operation Phoenix? So as of right now, to participate in it, you are not going to be required to hold anything. There will be whitelist spots that we will pretty much guarantee a certain number. Now, we can't just give all the whitelist spots out to one community, but we will guarantee a certain number. Going back to Operation Phoenix community members now, where Operation Phoenix will benefit the most is that we are going to get a percent raised or a flat fee depending on the package that the launch person is using. But we're also going to be offering additional things through my YouTube channel, through Squidgrow Joe's YouTube channel, through our call channel, and all kinds of different ways to kind of monetize it to keep bringing more and more money back to Operation Phoenix. So not only will we get fees from the raise itself, but we'll also get fees from our influencer packages and things like that that we're going to sell. Let's see what else we have. Will you have to have Polygon and BNB to make a successful swap when trying to buy Operation Phoenix with Polygon to cover on-chain fees? Mark, if you don't mind reading that one and taking that one.
So you will not need to have BNB in your wallet. You won't even need to add BNB to your wallet, like the network. You can live entirely on Polygon, entirely on ETH, or entirely on Arbitrum, and still be able to buy and sell Operation Phoenix. There's no need to actually hold or use the BNB chain at all to buy or sell with this system. So this system is beautiful because we can reach people from any chain and any audience without asking them to go cross-chain. So anyone that wants Operation Phoenix, no matter where they are or what chain that they're comfortable using, will be able to easily acquire it, buy it, and sell it with no hassle, no bridging, and no switching chains, which is pretty cool technology, if you ask me.
Yeah, agreed. Next up, we have RBot is going to be whitelisted to be tax-free and have more freedom and good trading. So yeah, the RBot is going to be tax-free, basically making it impossible for any other RBot to beat it. Now, with that said, the whole reason we're doing that is to benefit Operation Phoenix. The dev team or nothing like that, no one's taking money from it. Every single penny, which we'll go ahead and give that wallet address out as well, but every single penny that arbitrage bot makes will go back to buying and burning Operation Phoenix. So just so we're clear on that, no one is profiting off of that. It's going straight back and buying and burning Operation Phoenix. This one might be one for you, Mark. Does the swapper will show the total fees for the whole operation? I'm assuming when you're talking about bridging and all that stuff, are they going to show all the fees before you execute? I'm assuming is what you're trying to ask.
Absolutely. So the fees for swapping, it's not a percentage fee out of your swap. It's actually you pay the gas for it in the native asset. And of course, it depends on which chain you're coming from. So for instance, Polygon, it's pretty cheap to transact on Polygon and on BSC. So the gas fee won't be more than $1 or $2. On ETH, it's a little more expensive, obviously, to actually go and bridge back on ETH. So that one you might see a little higher tick of fees. But yes, they'll all be calculated and displayed on the front end. And you will also have to sign the transaction in your wallet, so you'll know exactly what you're looking at.
Perfect. All right. Next, we have what is the overall goal for the supply? So as far as the supply goes, obviously it would have to get stopped at a certain point. I don't think we 100% landed on that figure, but keep in mind also that the higher we go up in market cap, the more and more funds it's going to take to be able to burn down a significant supply. Like if we get into the 100 millions of market cap, it's going to take a lot of buyback and burn funds to be able to make a huge dent in the overall supply. So I guess that's kind of my answer for that. Let's see what we have next. Can't wait for my 30-day to finish or throw into the 6-month. So, oh, you're just saying you can't wait. I thought you were asking if you could wait. But yes, anyone that's locked up right now, hopefully that's the goal that you're going to get out. Hopefully you have faith in us and Mark with the addition of him, and then Matt, that you're going to go ahead and hop on over to that 6-month compounding. All right, so how is 50% APY sustainable for the project? As we stated, we are a revenue-driven project. A lot of projects, it's super hard for projects to actually have real revenue coming in. We are one of those projects that are capable of having revenue. Like I said, first month without even trying, we made about $1,500 just on our first Launchpad launch. We're probably going to make more than that just on one launch, not including our DEX fees or anything like that. So that's how we're going to sustain it. We're going to sustain it with the revenue. We're not just pulling from the supply and giving away free tokens. It's going to be sustained with the revenue generated from our DEX, from our Launchpad, from our swapper, from our NFT marketplace, and everything else that we have coming for you guys. So how much is the penalty fee for the 6-month pool? Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 30%, correct?
Yes, we wanted it to be a little higher than the 25% it currently is because of the longer time commitment and the increase in rewards.
Yep. Matt, I think you answered this basically, but can you claim the rewards? I believe you can, but you are subject to that 30% penalty.
Yes. So with this system, you're able to withdraw any amount that you want. With the older pools, you have to withdraw all of them if you wanted to. But on this one, so let's say you staked in 10,000 tokens and now you have 10,200. You are totally able to withdraw those 200 tokens. And when you do withdraw them, that fee that's taken, by the way, we never even touched on this. Instead of it going to us or getting burned, it actually gets reflected to everyone else in the staking pool. So whenever someone does claim early, you should see a big boost to reflections immediately, because that entire 30% fee remains in the contract and auto compounds into everyone's balance, which should be really fun.
Awesome. All right, Mark, another one probably for you. Will the bridges reflect us as a top token on the chain being used? For example, if we have $1 million spent at Matic for Operation Phoenix, does that show us as a top BNB token or a top Matic token?
All of the swaps go through BNB. So any amount of volume on any of these other chains will directly add to the BNB volume. So BNB would still show rank us as the top. What these tokens are, the ones on Matic, etc., they're almost like a receipt for Operation Phoenix that's locked up on BNB. So people are able to buy and sell from these other chains, but there's no liquidity on those chains. All of the liquidity is routed through the main central BNB pool.
Awesome. All right, going through, seeing if we have any more questions. Let's see. How do we get the reflections linked to our wallet? So, Mark, I'll let you take it, but yeah, there's a contract address that you can add that you can see that.
So I made the staking contract into a token. Now, this token, it's not tradable. You can't transfer it. You can't sell it. It's just to show you how many Operation Phoenix you currently have staked. And every time rewards are compounded, that amount goes up. So you're able to add the staking contract to your wallet as a normal token and watch the value go up over time. It's just like normal staking, but this one actually shows you your tokens that are locked, so you know that they're not, so they don't just poof out of your wallet like with some traditional staking pools. So I'm sure Sean and Co will make the contract address readily available for you guys to add.
Yep. For some reason, if it's not a filter, we'll go ahead and get that added as a filter so that you guys can just copy and paste it into your wallet. Let's see. I think we have another question for you, Mark. DeFi Mark, is it possible to add reward tokens for staking that will allow us to participate in Launchpad projects as a reward for staking?
Absolutely possible, but the decision is not up to me.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Ultimately up to the core team here at Operation Phoenix, but I'd be happy to talk through some of these ideas and ways that we can incentivize the community for whitelist access. And I'm sure, and I know I've made a few launch pads in my day, so I know there's tons of different ways we can incentivize community members to benefit the project one way or another, whether it's staking, burning, contributing, locking, something of that nature in order to gain some whitelist access. So that is going to be a fun conversation I'm looking forward to having with the team. But as of right now, we haven't even really discussed the Launchpad much. That was kind of made and set up before I was brought on board.
Yep, this is exactly why we're bringing Mark on, full of awesome ideas that we can integrate because, again, we want this to be what SafeMoon should have been. We want it to be innovative. We want it to have nothing but the best, and Mark will hopefully be a big part of that. Now, I'm not seeing any more questions. When will the Arbot be live? We don't have an exact date, but as Mark said, soon.
Yeah, it's kind of I've been doing my best on it. It's been more of a task than it should be to bring it entirely on chain. So I do apologize for it taking a little bit longer than I had expected, but I will be focusing on that primarily for the rest of the night. So I should be able to get it live here soon.
Yeah, Mark's probably been waking up with a message from me every single day. When's the Arbot coming?
Yep.
So we're not seeing any more questions as of right now. Matt, anything you want to say before we go ahead and close it out?
I think we're good. I mean, we've released a pretty good amount of info today. A lot of it is going to be revolutionary to the space, and that's what it's all about. Mark takes a big pride in moving the space forward, the same as I do. We want the best technology, the best, the best things that can possibly come out. We want it to come out with Operation Phoenix firsthand. So,
Yep. So last question. I heard Mark is doxxed. Is he doxxed to you? I'm not certain how much he's doxxed himself, but yes, he is definitely doxxed to us. But
yeah, I mean, I've been public to some degree. I mean, I did a few live streams on Twitch where I showed my face. Yeah, I've been pretty much known for a year or so now. It's not like my profile picture on Twitter, but it's easy to find if you are interested. So yeah, I've put my camera on for the Operation Phoenix team and pretty much most people that I work with.
Mike's comment. But yeah, all right, guys. I think that's about it. We're gonna go ahead and start to wrap it up. Hopefully, I didn't mess up too much. Like I said, Joe's usually in the control panel. This is the first time I've actually been in the control panel, controlling everything. But if you guys don't have any other closing remarks, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. All good?
I'm good.
All right, guys. That's gonna do us at Operation Phoenix. Until next time, trade safe, guys.
Peace out, guys. Thank you.